All right, guys, today I'm got a whole list of things to do on the farm. As you can see, I have burned off the pine forest, one of them by my house. I've got several more places to burn. But anyway, I'll be heading back to the shop today. Well, today I've got a whole list of projects to do on the farm. First of all, I want to change the oil in my Zetor Major 80 tractor. I use this tractor for a lot of things out here. It's a very strong tractor, good hydraulics. We use it for loading logs. We use it for, well, grading roads, clipping pastures, just a whole assortment of things. Got a quick attach loader. But anyway, today I do have a long list of things to do, so I'm gonna go ahead and crank the tractor up and let it warm up and get it ready for an oil change. I want to let it warm up. I like to let the motor warm up before I drain it. That way the oil drains well. So we'll go ahead and let that warm up. All right, now that the oil engine has warmed up, I'll go ahead and just a minute start on the process of changing the oil. I try to change that oil about every 200 hours in that tractor. Oil is a lot cheaper than engines. I'm also going to change the hydraulic filters today on it and top off the hydraulic oil, but do a complete oil. One good thing about the Zetor tractor, I don't know about all the models, but I know the Zetor Major 80, which is a mid-size, kind of all-around utility tractor, they make it incredibly easy to change your engine oil, and that's very important. It's always good to be able to get to stuff and get it changed to work on. Like the old mechanic used to say, you can pay me a little bit now or a whole lot later. And I would certainly rather to pay a little bit more now, keep my oil changed in these things. And anyway, we're just pulling the drain plug here, which is easy to get to. Right here on the side of the tractor. There we go. And one thing about that diesel oil, it's going to be black. Then the oil filter is right here. Very accessible. Not hard to get to here. I did break my little cheater here. A little wrench there, help out. I gotta break that, it's probably gonna drip some oil. Well, maybe not. Now I do keep my burnt oil. I have in fact, I've got a good bit of burnt oil saved in containers that I'm probably going to use one day, treat it with something and use it on a project out here on the farm. But right now I'm just saving it, letting that drip off of there, dropping this filter down here. But an incredible easy oil change, guys. I've had some vehicles and some tractors that, wow, they want to make it a major job just to change the oil. But this is goodness, this is so easy to get to here. Just gonna let that all drip out there and check my oil plug. I don't see anything stuck to it, which this tractor only has about, I mean, it has probably only 500 hours on it, not even that much. But I do work it pretty hard. I tell you, for an 80 horsepower tractor, I am just amazed the size of the log the hydraulics on this tractor will pick up. It's almost unreal. Now, you know, one thing you want to really be sure when you're changing your oil, you want to always be sure you get that gasket off. You want to double check that. Now, some people will go ahead and pour oil in their new filter, and had a cover on there, but just want to be sure it's all clean. So I may do that. Hang on a minute. I'm going to go grab a little oil, pour in that filter. I know there's two schools of thought on that. One is you're pouring unfiltered oil into it. But then on the other hand, I've also heard that you don't want to have a dry start without having oil in that filter. It primes quicker. So I don't know. I usually pour oil in mine. So far, I've never had an engine to go bad on me. Maintenance, guys, all you got to do is do your maintenance. Most equipment, actually, if you maintain it, gives you good performance. Now, there are some things out there that are junky made, but I've pretty much run every kind of tractor there is made. I mean, really, I've had almost every brand of tractor made. And different sizes mine are too, depending on what size, what your application is. And get this filter back on here. Once you get the filter on, you know this. Always let it run a little while. Check it. Check your filter, your plug. You just don't want any oil leaks. Got that back on there snug. I usually, once it makes good contact, I usually spin it 3/4 of a turn. And that's pretty much secure. Don't see any debris. That looks good. We'll reinsert the oil plug here, guys. I am not left-handed, so I am. There we go. The O-ring on the oil plug did look good. So I am not changing out the O-ring on the oil plug this round. Slide that back out of the way. Get a good fit on this thing. Tighten it back up. I'll put the box end on it, get a good snug fit. Nicely done. Now time to get a little oil in it. All right, time to put the oil back in the tractor. I use Rotella 1540. That's just what's recommended. It's not this is not my normal funnel, but I don't know what happened to my normal funnel. I've got a tool truck, and normally I put everything back where it belongs, but for whatever reason, my funnel wasn't in there, so I had to use this little short dinky funnel here. But it worked. Had a little more trouble, as you'll see in a minute, with the larger jug of oil. So we're just getting the oil back in it now. And after I do this, I'll go ahead and I'll check the oil in a minute. But the only thing I can tell you, the only issue I found really with the whole process of changing oil is the dipstick. They did everything excellent on this tractor as far as the oil plug, the oil filter, the oil fill cap, the oil fill location. But the dipstick is in a horrible place. It's hard to get to. It's not made very well. For whatever reason, I don't know why they shortchanged the dipstick. It's hard to get into. It's just a hard place. But anyway, I got the oil in it, and next I'm going to start working on the air filter. But you'll see I'm struggling here a little bit with this dipstick back here, where it is, having to get to it, and also just having to, get it back in place to check it. But other than that, it all went pretty well. All right, this is my first hydraulic full filter change. I'm not changing oil. It only has 548 hours on the filter. But I'm going to change the hydraulic filter and bring the oil back up, let's say 53, 420, 903. I don't have a wrench big enough to fit this. Gosh, I can't get that off, so I'm just going to drive a screwdriver in it, guys, and hope I can break it loose with that. Well, that's a pretty tough filter. There we go. Now, honestly, I don't know how much oil is coming out of that thing. I guess the oil's coming out of the pump and the line, so theoretically I may be losing more oil than I thought, but that's all right. It looks nice. O-ring loose. It'll snug up in a minute though. I better go ahead and get that off and pop this other one on there. I'll be ended up putting more oil in this thing than I was ready prepared for. Let's see. Be sure to get that O-ring off of there. Is that the O-ring? Let's see. Nope, that's not the O-ring. All right, let's go. Sure that new O-ring is fitting there right, because you definitely got to have it on there. I don't really like the way this is fitting. I'll be honest with you, I don't know if that O-ring's set right or not, because that should not be dripping. Okay, the O-ring came off. So that, I just hope all the O-rings on there correct. I might have to get a rope, tie around that and tighten it up a little bit more, because my grip is just not getting it. Okay. All right, let's go around the back here, pull the plug out. Get some oil in there, bring it up to the oil level. I always like to clean out real good around my dipstick there so nothing falls in there. That fits in there pretty tight, guys. I had to find a small funnel here, so this is going to be a slow pour, and actually that doesn't fit well. Tell you what, I'm gonna go get a transmission fluid filter. I'll be back. Well, we had a little emergency come up. Kept hearing somebody call my name, so I felt like I better run go see what was going on. Well, I knew what it was, so I got some alfalfa hay, and lo and behold, there my good old horse Dixie was waiting for me. Now, this horse is one of the best horses I've ever had. She pulls an Amish wagon for me. I have an antique doctor's buggy she pulls. We do weddings. We do parades with her. We just really enjoy Dixie. Is a very good horse. I sent her over to Georgia a few years back and had her trained by a guy who does training for a lot of the downtown programs. But anyways, got her fed. Well, heading back to finish up the adding the hydraulic oil. That's a picture of my stagger tractor. I pull a dirt pan with it. We'll do some videos of it later, but that's a really nice tractor, and you'll. All right, time to get this all up to level. Let me get my gloves back on. I do wear gloves when I'm handling any type of oil or diesel products. I also wear gloves when I'm handling lumber or heavy stuff. Just protects my hands. Yeah, you know, I've got an office job in town and own an insurance agent, so I don't think it'd look good if I sat there across the desk with oil all over my hands, even though I'm not afraid of getting dirty, but I like keeping them clean. Well, you know, guys, I hope you liked this video. If you've enjoyed it, and subscribe to my channel if you're not already. We're going to try to start doing more videos a little bit later. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed it.